Hello, this is Micah with FOAB and 9185 Robotics. Previously, we went over how to create custom parts, the different tools inside Inventor, and the basics of constraining parts together to create assemblies. In this part 3, I believe, we are going to be going over some more advanced assembly constraints and how you can use them. For this video, I've already used some of the constraints we've learned in the past to attach this 10 long L with a collar not fully constrained to it that allows me to move it around, along with this L. I have a piston here with this standoff that is constrained to the shaft in case you were attaching it. We're going to start with constraint here. We're going to go over this angle constraint, specifically the directed angle. If you attach something and you need it at a specific angle, you can use this angle constraint here to select two different faces, and it'll give you 0 degrees. By default, I can come in here and adjust this. So let's say 45. Not really what I'm looking for. I could do 135, or I can also go negative. So negative 45 is what I'm going to go with. Apply that. And now this is constrained in place. Next, we are going to use min-max constraints along with this tangent constraint. So I'm going to start by constraining the collar here to this standoff, so it stays in line with one another, meaning it moves with the piston, just like that, how you would on using a piston in a real application. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tangent, and what this allows us to do is to take this circle and constrain it to this flat face, creating a connection just like you would if you were using like a standoff collar or a screw all the way through into a collar, just like that. That's how you would do it in CAD. Next thing we're going to go over is min-max. So there's these two arrows here. You open this up, and I am going to constrain. You can either do this with a flat face, or I'm going to do this axis to the flat top part of this piston. Now, minimum, I'm going to put in 0.1, and that's going to show like if a screw was going through this hole here, it would not be able to go up all the way to the minimum 0. So that's going to be 0.1, and then my maximum I'm going to put at 1. Let's say the piston can move 1.5 inches. I don't know if what the exact conversion is, but let's say it can move 1.5 inches. I'm going to add the minimum I added, so 1.6. And now what this shows is if I go ahead and move this, it cannot move past that 1.6 mark. Nope, and there's that save reminder, so I'm going to hit Control S, save this. But it allows me to not move it past the minimum of 0.1 or past the maximum of 0.6. So using that maximum and minimum constraint option can really help with using pneumatics and pistons and seeing if they'll work in CAD before building them in life. So those are some more advanced ways to use constraints, and specifically how to do pistons and standoff with collars in this video. The next video will be going over how to create a drawing file and using that possibly for notebooks, or if you need to prove the size and dimensions of certain things in the future.